wanted to share a little bit.
Yeah.
I saw my eyes kind of dewed up, and I saw a couple other people too. And what struck me was, I may not be able to articulate this because I don't quite understand it myself.
So far, so good, Mike.
I think my whole life I've not trusted my heart in certain areas, and I guess what I'm feeling is like sadness because I can see all that time that I've spent just like wanting to do something and doubting myself. And so what I love about the gospel and kind of experience I just had was that I can hopefully learn to listen to and trust my heart. It's not going to lead me astray. So that was pretty much, and I just want to thank you for your ministry, because without it I'd probably be stuck in church. So.
And that's and thank you very much, because and here's the thing, Mike. You begin to trust your heart. One of the elements of trusting your heart. Number one, the gospel just causes that to happen. It's just there's not a how to trust your heart. But one of the things that has to be diffused is the concern that your heart's going to lead you the wrong direction. And we had a caller call in sometime last year, and they were very concerned about that. And the answer that came out of me was, they said, well, what if my heart leads me into a ditch? I said, well, the same heart will lead you out. So you see, the power of following your heart. See, listen to this. This is so bizarre. We always want people to always do the right thing. We think if somebody does the right thing all the time, they're wise, right? And that's the way, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, well, not, and especially as parents, that's just not the wise thing to do. Don't do that. You know, and people try to control what we do and what we don't do because others can see this is not the right thing to do. How many people have you ever heard stand up and say how that they did something absolutely right and how much they learned from doing it right?
That's right.
Nobody. Do you know everybody you'll ever hear talk about the wisdom they gained? It's going to be from making the wrong decision first. Don't be afraid of doing it wrong first. That's where we learn.
You're seeing someone else do it.
Yeah, you can learn from that too.
Right.
And that's what it is.
It's even a greater wisdom, I guess.
And that's what it is for me, is fear.
It is fear.
Right.
And because it's the unknown. It really is the unknown and following the heart. One of my favorite Broadway shows is Secret Garden. And I watched it in New York a couple of times. It's just amazing. The soundtrack from it is just amazing. And of course it's about the secret garden. There's one where the gardener's singing this song. It's a maze, this garden. It's a maze of ways. A soul could lose their way. It's a maze, this garden. It's blah, blah, blah. And it says, but getting lost is how you learn. And I remember first time I saw that play was about 10 years ago. And I'm in a theater, and I am just now beginning to learn a whole lot of these things about the heart. And I'm hearing him sing this song, and he's talking about this maze of this garden. He says, but getting lost is how you learn. And but that's following the heart. Please don't ever think that if you follow your heart, you're always going to do the right thing. If you follow your heart, you'll always learn.
Right.
That's what you will do. You will always learn if you follow your heart.
So when we say that we're afraid that our heart will lead us astray, that is Christianity speaking to our heads. Because we want to judge the path that we're on.
Yeah.
No, the freedom in Christ to follow your heart is not to follow your heart into things that are always going to be perfect. The freedom is just to follow your heart.
Yeah.
I fully believe the reason everyone here came through traditional religion and all that Till we got to the end of ourselves with that, and said, this stuff ain't working.
Right. Because, and
Or
most,
we'd have never been here
and
today.
most of us,
Exactly right.
whether we came into it as I did as an adult or as Michael did as a child, whichever, at some point, if you're going to continue with it, even if you're raised from day one with it, you're following your heart.
Yeah.
If we didn't follow our heart, we wouldn't be here right now.
That's the truth.
I can speak in tongues.